Now, my story begins a few years ago. I had the opportunity to go on a mission trip to Dominican Republic. And there was a group of us who went there, and we were bringing medical care and resources to the Haitian refugees who lived in villages in the Dominican. And I can remember before going thinking, you know, I need to prepare myself. I need to prepare myself for what I'm going to see. I need to prepare myself for possibly the hopelessness, the despair. The refugees, the Haitian refugees in the Dominican Republic are one of the most poverty-stricken and oppressed people in the world. And with my history working in the mental health field, I knew that I would probably see mental illness and addictions. So I thought I really need to start to prepare myself. Now my picture up here shows you a little bit about what community looks like in these Haitian refugee villages. So this picture is housing. These are some of the houses that people lived in. You can see two children here, they're playing baseball. So the girl has a stick and the boy has a big plastic jug, that's the ball. And interestingly, when I arrived, what I expected to see was not what I saw. I remember we arrived in the very first village, and as we came up in our open air bus, children came running. And they came running with ear-to-ear grins, and they were smiling, and they weren't coming running up to us because they wanted something from us. They came up because they wanted to call us friend, and they held our hands, and they were so proud to show us their communities. And I remember what I saw was, you can see from the pictures here, I saw people who were full of hope, who were singing and joyous and sharing the stories of hope with one another. We saw children being cared for by all different moms, being cared by all different other teenagers, older adults taking care. There was this sense of everyone caring for one another, everyone making sure that no one was left behind, every door was left open. And so what I really saw was there was love, and there was hope, and there was connection. And I remember this one time, you know, you're giving out everything that you have. You know, you're just trying to dig in your pouch for anything to give away. And we'd given away all of our wares. So we found a candy, just a little tiny candy, probably not the healthiest thing to give away. But we gave the candy to the little girl who'd been walking with us all morning. She was about 8 years old. And so she took the candy and her eyes lighted up. And she took it and she put it in her teeth and she kind of cracked it with her teeth, and it all fell into her hand into about 10 little pieces. And then she turned around and she gave every single one of her friends a little tiny piece of that candy. You know, and I sometimes think about my own kids, and I love them dearly and they're awesome, but I swear if I gave them a candy, they'd probably pop it in their mouth and say, "Too bad for you," and away they would go, right? So there was this whole culture from the littlest to the oldest. And I remember talking to our guide and saying, you know, talking a little bit about the work that I do here, and I work in the field of, you know, mental health and addictions. And he said, you know, we really don't see a lot of mental health issues here, you know, and we really don't see a lot of addiction. And if we kind of, you know, fly back here to Canada, I think we see somewhat of a different picture. And I kind of question, okay, why? You know, what is happening? Why are we seeing this shift? And as I talk to people, what often comes to the surface is people talk about how we're all stressed out, right? We're all experiencing a lot of stress. We're living in this culture of rapid change, and stress is, you know, bombarding us day in and day out.